Hello, everyone. Today, our Dharma talk is about the mechanisms of causality and consciousness. We are going to explore three things together: the 10 wholesome days, the law of cause and effect, and how the human mind either sees reality clearly or distorts it. These three are deeply connected. By the end of today, may all of us can see the law of cause and effect is not just a Buddhist teaching, it's the underlying structure of everything that happens in our lives. Okay, here the foundation of the great bodhisattva is the self nature. We begin with the self nature. This slide shows us four qualities of the self nature. It's unborn and undestroyed, true and not false, firm and indestructible, and vast and omnipresent. Now, why does this matter for our practice? Because a great bodhisattva's resolve, the determination to cease evil and cultivate good, must have the same quality as the self nature itself. It must be real, not pretend. It must be firm, unshakable, and it must be pervasive, not something we only do when it's convenient. This is the standard. Then adapting the infinite to the specific needs of beings. So, with that firm and boundless foundation, how does a bodhisattva actually help beings? Through what we call great skillful means. Think of it like a funnel. The self nature is the infinite source at the top, and through great skillful means, that wisdom gets channeled down into perfectly suited methods for each individuals. The goal is always the same: true benefit and lasting peace. But the method must be suited to all people. So it must be tailored. What works for one person may not work for another. This is the art of skillful teaching and skillful means. The paradox of human effort and the failure of wrong method. Now, here is something very interesting, and I think many of us can relate to this. Every single human being wants benefit and happiness that's universal. Nobody weak out wanting to suffer, and yet people keep failure. People are always suffering. Why? Not because they don't try. They try very hard. The problem is that their methods are incorrect. They do not understand the underlying mechanism of reality, the law, the principles. So their actions are disconnected from the result they desire. Effort without correct understanding leads to failure. This is the paradox. The 10 wholesome days are the inevitable law of causality. This is where the 10 wholesome days come in. All Buddhas of the past have thoroughly investigated this. They are not optional guidelines or suggestions. They are strict, objective rules, just like the law of physics. We can see the slide says, to the exact extent that you act according to these rules, you will inevitably receive the corresponding reward. That word inevitable is very important. There is no luck here. There is no very there is no favoritism. The Lord operates precisely. Follow it precisely, you will get the result precisely. Then, causality operates identically across all domains of life. To help us understand this, let's look at everyday examples. Take farming. Every plant has its own specific growth laws. You have to understand that particular plant, its soil needs, its water needs, its sunlight. If you follow those laws perfectly, you get a bountiful harvest. Now, cooking is the same principle. The right proportion of rice, water, and heat, gather a ratio wrong, you will fail. Now, whales make money also have underlying mechanisms. If you act blindly without understanding those mechanisms, you will lose, not gain. The point is, reality works the same way everywhere. The domain is different, but the principle is identical. Mastering the principle, okay, Li in Chinese, that's Li. Mastering the principle Li dictates the timeline of results. Look at this chart. Three approaches to caring for a plant. The first, neglect, ignored, or excess, immediate failure. The second, forcing growth, pulling the plant upward because you want it to grow faster. It dies. The third, precise fulfillment, giving the right thing at the right time, steady, sustained growth. This is what mastering the principle or Li means. You do not impose your timeline on reality. Reality has its own timeline. Your job is to align with it precisely, not too early, not too late, not too much, not too little. Okay, this is anatomy of precise giving. This line make that even more explicit. Precise giving means the right thing at the right time. If you miss either of those, you will get the opposite result of what you intended. And this is a very humbling teaching because many people feel that they have already done the right things. They say, I tried so hard, I did so much. Why didn't it work? The answer is often here. They gave what they thought was needed, not what's actually needed, or they gave it too early or too late. Precise fulfillment is an objective law, not an subjective feeling. Then the mind acts as the foundation of everything. Now we go deeper. Why do people fail to see and follow these laws? Because of the mind. The mind has two possible models of operation. The first is wonderful observing wisdom. This is the clear, unclouded mode where you can see reality as it is, discover the objective laws, and follow them. The second is stand consciousness. Okay, this is the cloudy mode where where your perception of reality is distorted by habits and conditioning. Everything we have talked about so far depends on what model is operating, what mode is operating. The same word through these two modes produces completely different actions and results. The distortion of reality through strained consciousness. Let's look more closely at strained consciousness. It works like a filter, a distorted lens placed between objective reality and our perception. How does this filter get created? Two mechanisms. First, habitual perfuming. The Okay, the inference and actually the cumulative influence of our environment, also from our parents and the society, layer upon layer over many years. Second, wrong labels, the language and concepts we learned from childhood, which come with incorrect definitions of what is good, what is bad, what is desirable, what is to be avoided. When we see the world through this distorted filter, our actions violate objective laws and the consequence is inevitable. Obstacles, disasters, and suffering. Okay, then is diagnostic comparison, the two functions of the mind. This table gives us a clear side-by-side comparison. Strength consciousness originates from environmental conditioning. It operates on wrong labels and ingrained biases. It chronically violates objective laws, and the result is guaranteed obstacles, disasters, and suffering. Wonderful observing wisdom, on the other hand, originates from the active discovery of objective reality. It operates by following absolute rules. It aligns perfectly with those rules, and the result is also guaranteed. You obtain what you desire, and there is lasting peace. Send mind two completely different models. Cultivation is the process of shifting from the left side to the right. Okay, establishing right view to eliminate negative consequences. So how do we make this shift through right view? Right view, okay, sorry. Right view is not just an intellectual options, is the active replacement of the wrong imprinted views of the past with correct understanding. Think of it this way: wrong views are the root, negative consequences are just the fruit. If you want to stop producing bad fruit, you have to address the root. By mastering the law of cause and effect, we eliminate wrong behaviors at the source, and the negative consequences naturally fall away. This is what spiritual cultivation is for. Then the mechanisms of fortune and wisdom. Now we can understand precisely what blessing and wisdom actually mean. Blessing or good fortune is not random. It's right view plus action aligned with correct laws equals obtaining what you desire. That equation is exact. Wisdom is also not a quality, vague quality. It's understanding the principle plus skillful application of methods equals achieving satisfying results of being. Both of these are mechanisms. They can be learned, practiced, and mastered. They are not gifts that some people have and others don't. Okay, the cycle of transformation. This slide brings everything together into one complete cycle. Station 1, we shared the strand consciousness, removing the wrong labels and societal biases. Station 2, we established right view, discovering the principle and the objective rules of causality. Station 3, we practice precise giving, applying great skillful means in exactly the right proportion and at exactly the right time. Station 4, the great Nirvana sea, returning to the front omnipresent reality of the self-nature, where a great bodhisattva can perfectly serve beings. And then the circle continues, deepening with each round. Okay, mastering the principle, not just the words. Then is the final point, which is especially important for those of us who teach the Dharma. So it's clear that the Benny Master said we must master the essence of each principles, not just memorize words on the surface. Words are so the principle, the li, is the content. When you truly understand the principle at its core, you can express the truth of the Dharma accurately in any language, to any audience, in any situation. The words will adapt, but the truth will remain the same. This is the goal of our study and our practice. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you so much.